Hey everyone, welcome back to Is It Just Me? Today's episode is called The Sleeping Tablet. So this little situation I had on a international flight from Singapore to Australia, and it was an uncomfortable situation, if I say the least. So I'm on this flight, boarded this flight, and we were waiting for the plane to take off, and I'm like, well, it's about a 7 or 8 hour flight from Singapore to Australia, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna take a sleeping tablet because I always find that it was an overnight flight, and I always find that I don't get much rest, and when I get to the other end, I'm exhausted because of lack of sleep. So I was like, this flight, I'm going to take a sleeping tablet, and hopefully I feel a little more refreshed when I get to the other end. So like I said, we're on the flight, we're waiting for the pilot to sort himself out, sort the plane out, and take off. So I take this sleeping tablet and start getting comfortable, ready for the trip. And then 20 minutes or so after I take this sleeping tablet, the pilot announces over the intercom system that there's a engineering issue with the plane, and we are going to have to all get off the plane and go and board another plane, but not for another 2 hours. And I was like, looked at my girlfriend and I'm like, are you serious? I just had this sleeping tablet. She just laughed. And I'm like, well, this is going to be interesting because I haven't really had a sleeping tablet before. And I'm like, well, what's going to happen? I'm like, I've got to get off this plane. I've got to now sit in the airport and wait for another 2 hours until we can board a new plane. And I was like, well, am I going to fall asleep? Like, what's going to happen? I'm like, what do I do? Do I do the old and try and get it up, or I just hope for the best? So yeah, I wasn't going to go to the bathroom and try and get it up. I was like, well, I think I'll just hope for the best and see if I can push through it. So we get off the plane, and we're walking through the airport at Singapore, and had to go and sit in another lounge and wait for our flight. They had some little complimentary snacks and things like that, but I'm sort of slumped in the chair at this point. I think the tablet's starting to kick in, let's say. I'm getting drowsy and more quiet. I'm like, oh, when's this flight gonna sort of take off? And I think I was falling asleep, and then they announce that the plane's ready to board, and my poor girlfriend, she's trying to wake me up because I'm asleep in this little chair in the waiting lounge, and I was like, oh, what? Oh, the plane's going. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm waiting in the line. I got my ticket in my hand, and do I have to do? Because this is already 2 a.m. in the morning. The flight was supposed to be a midnight flight. We're 2 a.m. in the morning. I've had this sleeping tablet a couple of hours ago. It's obviously kicked in. I'm really tired and drowsy. Girlfriend wakes me up, and I'm waiting in the line, and now I'm walking down, and finally get on the plane, and then you got to keep your seat upright until you take off. I'm trying to go back to sleep, and the air hostess is trying to check, is your seatbelt on? I'm I'm all drowsy. So another situation that would only happen to me. The one time that I take a sleeping tablet is the one time that the flight that we were supposed to go on is held back because of engineering issues and we had to change a plane, what are the chances? Yeah, so let me know in the comments whether you've had a similar situation where, you know, whether it's a flight or something like that, maybe you've taken some medication and something's happened like what happened to me. But yeah, look, it all worked out in the end. It was just a lot more difficult for me than what it would have been if I didn't have this sleeping tablet in me. So yeah, I'd love to read your comments, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in a future video. So bye for now.